Good morning. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. I want to talk to you today about your imagination and how powerful it is. Your imagination can do anything and help you accomplish everything that you want in your life. Imagination plays a far more important role in our lives than most people realize. In Dr. Maxwell Maltz's internationally best-selling book, Psycho-Cybernetics, he talks about imagination as being the first key to your success mechanism. You have a success mechanism within you. It is like a GPS. You can program your mind for success, but you have to use your imagination. And for many of us, it was programmed out when we were little kids and told to pay attention in school or to quit fantasizing and look at reality. When you understand that reality is based on what was once imagination or fantasy, you can start to understand that you need your imagination if you're going to dream up a beautiful life. Imagine what it's going to be like when you're successful, when you are loved, healthy, joyful, wealthy, whatever it is that you desire. Dr. Maxwell Maltz says, I have seen this demonstrated many times in my practice. A particularly memorable instance of this fact concerned a patient who was literally forced to visit my office by his family. He was a man of about 40. He was not married. He held down a routine job during the day and kept to himself in his room when the workday was over. He never went anywhere, never did anything. He had had many jobs and never seemed able to stay with any of them for any great length of time. His problem was that he had a rather large nose and ears that protruded a little more than normal. He considered himself ugly and funny looking. He imagined that the people he came in contact with during the day were laughing at him and talking about him behind his back because he looked so odd. Now, don't most people grow up with something like that? Maybe you look in the mirror and notice new wrinkles or talk about not being pretty or being fat. And that's an inner self-image that needs to change if you're going to actually accept yourself as enough and look at what you truly want in your life. So this patient of Dr. Maltz's, his imaginings grew so strong that he actually feared going out into the business world and moving among people. He hardly felt safe even in his own home. Do you know that's what happens when you talk to yourself over and over and over? You don't even know you're talking to yourself, but you have 60 to 90,000 thoughts a day. And if this poor fellow talked about being ugly and felt and funny looking and not wanting to talk to people or meet up with people, he even felt ashamed of himself, and he thought that his family felt ashamed of him because he was peculiar looking and not like other people. Well, your mind can play tricks on you. Actually, Dr. Molt says his facial deficiencies were not serious. His nose was of the classical Roman type, and his ears, although somewhat large, attracted no more attention than those of thousands of people with similar ears. In desperation, his family brought him to see me, Dr. Maxwell Maltz, to see if I could help him. I saw he did not need surgery, only an understanding of the fact that his imagination had wrought such havoc with his self-image that he had lost sight of the truth. He was not really ugly. People did not consider him odd and laugh at him because of his appearance. His imagination alone was responsible for his misery. His imagination had set up an automatic negative failure mechanism within him. It was operating full blast to his extreme misfortune. Fortunately, after several sessions with Dr. Maltz and with the help of his family, he was able gradually to realize that the power of his own imagination was responsible for his plight, and he succeeded in building up a true self-image and achieving the confidence he needed by applying creative imagination rather than destructive imagination. Dr. Maltz shows how we have goals and we're using our imagination whether we think we are or not. We either use our imaginations constructively or destructively. The key is becoming aware of which way you're using yours and improving on it daily. Have you decided what you really want? If you could do or be or have anything in your life, what would you really want? Some people wish for enough money to retire. Well, when you retire, you're going to have no work to do. So I challenge you to think about what is the purpose of being retired? Do you want to help more people, volunteer your time, spend quality time with your family? You can do those things even while you're working. You have to fill your mind and your heart with feelings of time and money freedom, of what it would be like if you put your needs and your family's needs ahead of work, knowing that there is always enough time. Everyone gets the same amount of time. Creative imagination, Dr. Maltz says, is not something reserved for the poets, philosophers, and inventors. It enters into our every act. For imagination sets the goal picture that our automatic mechanism works on. We act or fail to act not because of will, as it is so commonly believed, but because of our own imagination. A human being always acts and feels and performs in accordance with what he imagines to be true about himself and his environment. This is a basic and fundamental law of mind. It is the way we are built. When we see this law of mind graphically and dramatically demonstrated in a person who is hypnotized, we're prone to think that there is something magical, occult, or super normal at work. Actually, what we're witnessing is the normal operation of the human brain and nervous system. Dr. Maltz gives an example. If a good hypnotic subject is told that he's at the North Pole, he will not only shiver and appear to be cold, his body will react just as if he were cold, and goosebumps will develop. The same phenomenon has been demonstrated on wide-awake college students by asking them to imagine that one of their hands is immersed in ice water. Thermometer readings show that the temperature does drop in the so-called treated hand. Tell a hypnotized subject that your finger is a red hot poker, and he will not only grimace with pain at your touch, but his cardiovascular and lymphatic systems will react just as if your finger were a red hot poker and produce inflammation and perhaps a blister on the skin. When college students wide awake have been told to imagine that a spot on their foreheads is hot, temperature readings show an actual increase in skin temperature. Your nervous system cannot tell the difference between an imagined experience and a real experience. In either case, it reacts automatically to information that you give it from your forebrain, from your conscious mind, from the executive thinking part of your brain. So you decide what picture you want to bring into your experience, and your nervous system reacts appropriately to what you think or imagine, what you imagine to be true. What would you love to bring into your life? Your subconscious mind is totally deductive. It has no ability to reject. It will accept whatever you impress it upon it as reality, whether it is imagined or real. What is it that you would love? You might try this with something as simple as a free cup of coffee today, or an easy drive to work. It's Monday morning, and many people drag themselves out of bed reluctant for the day because it's Monday and they expect doom and gloom and they imagine it. And guess what? That's what shows up in their life. Your imagination is powerfully creating your life. What if you imagined the life that you truly desire? You're doing purposeful work that is affecting lives of people. You're serving from your heart, and people can feel it and they're attracted to you. If you own your own business, it's flourishing. If you're working for someone else, you will soon find that not only are you loving your life, you look forward to being at work. You have something purposeful to do. The time flies because you really enjoy what you're doing, whether it's volunteer or paid, whether you're an employee or an employer. Your subconscious mind brings to your experience whatever you focus on and whatever you believe is true. Teams do this. They they focus on being the champions. They see themselves, they talk about it, they pump each other up. And even if they're the underdogs, they win the championship because of their belief in themselves and each other. You can do this by yourself. You can do this with your employees, your employer, your team, your family. Decide, what do you really want, and focus on what that would look like. Get a clear picture so that, as they say, everyone is rowing in the same direction. What if what you really wanted was your reality, what would it feel like? How would you be celebrating? At the end of the day, imagine that today was the easiest flowing day. Work went smoothly. You enjoyed your life. You took time out to imagine not only a holiday and what it's going to be like when you're done work, but what if today was productive and you really enjoyed what you were doing? How would that feel? I'm going to give you a simple, easy way to get into relaxing your mind and imagining what you want. I want you to, if you're in a place where you can sit quietly, not driving, not distracted, close your eyes and imagine, visualize a funnel of lavender energy flowing into the crown of your head, circulating through your head and down into every area of your entire body. This powerful creative energy is freely flowing to and through you, circulating into every molecule of your being. You're feeling at ease. You're filled with a sense of well-being. You're getting a picture in your mind of what it is that you truly desire. You're vitally healthy. You're peaceful. You're happy. Allow yourself to become relaxed and light. Mentally envision yourself already in possession of the results that you desire. Imagine the results in your mind are as real as the chair that you're sitting on, the clothes that you're wearing. Tune into the frequency of the picture as if you're already there. Take a deep breath in and feel how wonderful it feels to be calm and relaxed, happy, at peace, healthy, and richly blessed in every area of your life. Your imagination is so powerful, it can take you anywhere. It can take you to a beach in Hawaii. It can take you to celebrating your success with your loved ones. It can take you to sitting alone in your comfortable chair, relaxed and at peace, or being in a celebration parade. Your mind can take you anywhere. When you get clear on one picture that you really desire and you think about it, you feel as if you're already there. That magnetizes you, that programs the mechanism in you for success. Your success mechanism is programmed to look for evidence, to get ideas, to hook up with people who can help you. ideas come out of the blue, and as you take action on those ideas, what you truly desire becomes your life. That's how everything happens. We imagine the picture, we feel ourselves, what it would be like. Maybe you've done this in the past with an education, a master's degree, starting your own business, getting married, buying your first house, riding a bicycle, owning a new car. You always start with imagining it, what you want. And then rather than discounting it or worrying about how it's going to come, you think about it, you plan it, you focus on it, and you go and do it. So I want you to imagine the best thing that you could possibly imagine, what you really desire. Get a clear picture of it, visualize it in your imagination, but most importantly, plant it in your subconscious mind. That is your heart of hearts. That is tuning into what it would feel like to already have that. You can imagine it and then take a pen and paper and write about it. You could write one sentence on a card. I am so happy and grateful now that this thing has come true. This life is what I'm living. This amount of money is in my bank account. Whatever it is that you want, write it down on a goal card and consider carrying it with you and looking at it multiple times today, multiple times every day. And then before you go to sleep tonight, read that goal card out loud. Program your mind, program your subconscious so that your imagination will take you there and your reality will become that. Everything starts in the mind, and the last step is reality. So first you think about it, you feel that it's so real, you feel what you're going to be like, happy, healthy, peaceful, wealthy, joyful, respected, loved, successful, whatever that means to you. Imagine it, feel as if it's already done, and you'll start to get ideas. And when you take action on those ideas, your life changes. You do move into that new state of being because your mind will go looking, your body will perform the actions that are necessary, and you will be living that reality. Thoughts plus feelings plus actions equal the results in your life. The important part is to not discount, not throw away that picture, not say, it'll never happen, but actually get into the spirit of the wish fulfilled, using your imagination, pretending that you're already there, and doing this in a relaxed state every morning and every evening before you go to sleep. Your imagination is very powerful. You can program it for success or failure. You can program it constructively or destructively. Use it to your advantage. Use it to get what you really want. Use your imagination to get clear on the picture. Try it with something easy and then go after what you really desire. It's as easy to manifest a beautiful love life, your dream home, work that you are happy and proud to do, as it is manifesting a free cup of coffee. You just have to believe it with all your heart. Imagine it, feel it, and go do it. Write down a description of yourself already in possession of the good that you desire. How do you feel now that it's accomplished? Write in the present tense. Use positive language. Put in lots of detail. You can use a journal and write it out every single day. The trick is to add emotion, and in your imagination, in your beautiful mind, getting clear on that picture of what it looks like, what it feels like, imagining yourself to be the person that already has what you really want, how happy you are, how healthy. This builds up your faith. And as you do this every day, you create the life that you truly desire. Think it, feel it, do it. Create a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. Enjoy your day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7. Thank you.